Hello guys, and welcome to Unmasked by Total Wisdom, the place where we unlearn, relearn, and become. Every one of us, every woman belong to a sect. When we listen to the word sect, majority of us, we used to see it as a subgroup of a religion. Whereas to me personally, I see sect as any system of belief and rules that guide how people behave, how people think, and how people even interpret things. I mean, our worldview. So, with this description of sect, as far as I'm concerned, I regard all religion, not only even their subgroup, all religion, all culture, all system of government, all economic preference, diet, all this, all way of life as a sect. When you look at the features, the basic principles of sect, you will see that they share the same thing with all these things I mentioned, with all our ways of life. If you don't believe me now, if you don't see it that way, if you can be patient and just listen to this podcast to the end, you will see the reason why I regard them as sect and why I even say that all of us belong to a sect. When we take religion, for example, we see that all religion are from a particular culture. They are cultural based. All culture are mind conditioning and identity, a particular way to see life, a particular code of living that belongs to a particular set of people. That's culture. So, and all these religions are from a subgroup of different culture. So, let's take Judaism, for example, which happens to be the father of Christianity and Islamic religion. As the main religion that gave birth to them, these two other religions also gave birth to many other religions. Christianity gave birth to Catholic, Pentecostal, Anglican, Scripture Union, many. Islamic gave birth to Shia, Al-Qaeda, Sufis, and many like that. In which even out of all these subgroup I just mentioned, they also give birth to many. It goes on and on like that. When we look at our system of governance, we have monarchy, we have democracy, military, communism, all this. They are all just preference of governance. So, and all these are sects. The political party you belong to, they are all sects. They may not call it sect, but in the actual sense, in their mode of operation, they operate like sect. Now, when you look at your diets, veganism, vegetarianism, all these people that only eat fish, pescatarianism, I don't know how to pronounce it very well, and omnivoralism, carnivoralism, all these are sects. You may not have a physical leader that, okay, this is the leader of our sect. No, you may not have it, but it is a system. It is a system. It has, if you are a vegan, you you see the world in a different way compared to someone that eats meat. So you think differently. You as human beings, all of us have similarities. We have things that are common to all of us, but the things that differentiate us happens because we belong to different sects. We are identified with different things. So when you look at economic system, capitalism is a sect. It's a special way to see life, to relate with life. When you are in a self-reliant community, it is a sect. You see world, you see life in a different way. And if you are in a moneyless society, you also see life in a different way. You still belong to a sect. If you are an atheist, that you don't believe in God, nothing, you are still under a sect because you act in a particular way. You see world in a particular way. You see life in a particular way. So now, if all of us belong to sect, then what to do? Is sect a bad thing? No, sect is not a bad thing. It's just mind conditioning. Mind conditioning is not a bad thing. Mind programming is not a bad thing. It is just collection of knowledge. What we call mind and knowledge, they are the same thing. And sect and code of living, way of life, all these things, they are the same thing expressed differently. So, if all of us belong to sect, what are we to do? It's just awareness. Be aware of the sect you belong to. And ask yourself, why do I belong to this belief system? Why do I believe this? Is this true for me? Is this thing serving me? Is this thing absolute? In the course of you being aware of the kind of sect you belong to, you will definitely know that there is no absolute system. There is no religion that is best. There is no religion that is inferior. There is no religion that is bad. There is no system of government that is good. There is no system of government that is bad. There is no diet that is good. There is no diet that is bad. There is no economic system that is superior. There is no economic system that is inferior. It's just preference. What works for you might not work for me. What aligns with you might not align with me. So, the reason why awareness is what is most important in any kind of sect we belong to is that we have two kinds of people that belong to sects. People that are aware that they are in a sect, that deliberately choose this sect, this code of living, this knowledge, that, okay, this is what I want to be using to guide myself. And those people that do not know that they belong to a sect, is it that they inherited it? Like people that are born into a religion, people that are born into a culture, people that are born into a system of governance, people that are born into a kind of diet. And in the course of growing up, they never even try to make research about other ways of life. They are so attached to that identity that they see it as absolute. So these people are not using the knowledge. The knowledge that they inherited is the one using them, so they act automatically because they believe that this is absolute, this is just common sense, this is just life. No. It is just a body of knowledge. So, if you are aware that there is nothing, there is no particular way that is absolute, that is the supreme, that is divine, because every religion, people used to interpret most religion as the divine, the one they belong to, as the divine, as the one that God has ordained. No, there is no any ordained religion. And there can never be. There is no any ordained system of governance, and there can never be. There is no any way of life that can be universal, that can satisfy all of us. No. All these things are just tools. All the way of life are just tools. Religions are tools for self-transformation. Yes. But it can only transform you. You can only use it for manifestation of what you want only if you are aware that this thing is not absolute. It's just a tool that can be used. Because without that awareness, it is that knowledge that will be controlling you. That way of life that will be controlling you. That is why in many religions, many people see fasting in many religions as something moral, as something holy, as something divine. No. Fasting is just for healthy living. It's to give your digestive system break. That is one of the important. The second importance is if you are praying when you are fasting, it enhances, in some people, not even everybody, it enhances focus. Because prayer is nothing than imagination. Prayer is just imagination. So when you don't eat, when your stomach is empty, in some people, not many people, because it works in opposite way. For some people, when they don't eat, that is when they cannot focus. But some people, when they don't eat, they are able to focus. They are able to have a clear, vivid imagination when they are praying. And when you have a strong imagination of what you want, and you are able to consistently work towards it, the feelings you will have when you are praying with that strong focus will give you a very strong confidence when you are acting on what you've imagined, of what you've prayed for. Will give you strong confidence. And when you do things with strong confidence, with vivid imagination, and with consistency, you are going to force the cosmos. You are going to force the universe to your will. That is it. So it's not something of moral. Now, if you don't have the ability to now fast, or maybe you have a kind of sickness and you are still forcing yourself because you don't want to feel guilty of not fasting, then you are not aware of that knowledge of fasting as a tool for transformation. You are allowing the knowledge to use you to put you in bondage. Such people, when they see other people that belongs to other religion or other system of belief, they see them as enemy. They don't want to relate with them because they've internalized that their own way of life is absolute. It's not only about religion, about every way of life. You can see that America system of governance, democracy, the majority of American leaders are seen democracy as absolute. They've been so identified with it that they've now turned it to fanaticism, that they want to force other people to also practice their own system of governance. And even you practicing democracy is one of the prerequisites to receiving help from them. So it's conditional. All these things are just a way to let you know how far people are so attached to their own system that they cannot see that it is just a tool, not absolute. The same thing, not only America, the same thing with other culture, the same thing with even languages that we speak. Languages, there is nothing about languages than just a means of communication. But we have turned it to being superior or not superior. One is more better than the other. People are now ashamed of their own language. It's so common in Nigeria. Many people are ashamed to speak Yoruba, to speak Hausa, to speak Igbo. Many people are even ashamed to speak incorrect English. It is because they've seen it, they've internalized it as absolute, as defined, as the best. They've forgotten it is just a truth. The same thing with some spiritual tradition. Toltec, Buddhism, Hinduism, yoga, all these things, they are just tools for transformation. Meditation nowadays has now been tagged as something moral. People are using it to rise, to puff up their ego. Some people cannot relate with their husband again at home. Some people are getting divorced because the wife is now involving in yoga, in all this meditation, and now see that, okay, I can no longer live with my husband. My husband is not a believer. My husband is not spiritual. My husband cannot meditate. Because of this, many people have lost their home and ending up fornicating with their yoga master. With the person that promised them of peace. They've forgotten it's just a tool. It is not absolute. They are now seeing the yoga master, their meditation leader, all these things. They now see them as God, as divine. And no, capitalism is not bad. You that belongs to minimalism is not bad. You that belongs to a tradition of, okay, reduce what you are doing. Just focus on your breathing, meditation and all this. You are not superior than someone that wants to be running after material things. No. No. The fact that the day you were being exposed to meditation, you are feeling a kind of deeper peace and see that, wow, it is because of the novelty. Sincerely. If you were born into an Hindu family now, that from little you've been used to meditation, is all you know. And when you are like 20-something or 30-something or even any age, when you've grown, you now came across capitalism, material things. I'm telling you, you are going to feel a kind of peace. Because in the course of you only doing meditation all your life, there will have been time you will be thinking life's supposed to be more than this. Me just seated here always. There will be time like that. So when you now come across capitalism, you will say, yes, I know life should be more than this. The same thing is what happened when you are born into this capitalism and running after material things, and suddenly you come across just being quiet with yourself. A tradition that preaches being quiet with yourself. and you practice it, you will feel different because of the novelty. It's like that. It is not that thing that is causing it. It is because of the response, the way the body is to respond to something new. So, you, no matter, like me now, I was born into a Christian family. The reason why I stopped being a Christian is because the code of living, the religion is fear-based. It's fear-based. Everything about it is how to make you to be scared, to keep you in line. It's the same thing with us Sect anyway. How to make you to be so scared. But this one is much more. Not only that, even Islamic religion. I grew up knowing these two religions. So, I used to feel like this thing is not right. And aside that, the kingdom of God, the paradise, being as the way it has been explained in the Bible, and the way Al-Jannah is explained in the Quran, there is nobody that will be able to enter paradise. There is, with the things you have to do, with the conditions, there is nobody. There is no way you can do it. Even the newborn child that has never committed a sin cannot enter, because in the Bible, they will make you pay for the sins of your father, grandfather, not only father, parents, grandparents, great-great-grandparents, great-great-great-grandparents, till 4th generation. You have to count backward. So tell me how anyone is going to make it. And listening to it when I was growing up, that anybody that do not believe in Jesus Christ is not going to enter the kingdom of God. So all these other cultures that have their own religion are not going to enter into the kingdom of God. It's not logical. And then most things in these two religions are abstract. So that was why I decided to stop. And I fuck with Totek because before I even came across Totek at all, more than 50% of all what Totek is all about happens to be the things I used to feel within myself that this thing are right, this thing makes sense. Sincerely, do not take anything personally. For example, I've always been thinking about this, that if somebody says I'm stupid, if I'm not stupid, why should I be angry? I used to feel like all these things that we are doing, it is because those people that were before us were doing it. If they've been doing it in another way, we would have also been doing it in another way. So it's not like maybe this thing is just absolute. But I was not sure before I came across Totek. I was not sure of all these things. When I came across Totek, Totek was able to help me to connect the dots. So I started practicing Totek. And since then, I've been able to use it for transforming myself in a very positive way. Sincerely. I am not saying Totek is superior to Christianity or Islamic or to Hinduism or to Buddhism or to any other religion. No. I'm not saying I left Christianity because it is bad. No. I left because it was not serving me. Totek is not superior to any religion. No religion is superior to Totek. Totek is not good. Totek is not bad. Christianity is not good. Christianity is not bad. And no religion, no culture is superior, is good or bad. No system of government is good or bad. What I'm trying to say is that they are just tools for transformation. And the essence of this podcast is that see them as tools so that they stop controlling you. See them as tools so that you will be able to use them as tools. Not you now becoming tool for what you're supposed to be using. If we look at another example, I will use most of religious example because I've seen a lot of people that are closer to me, even my mom, suffering because of religious belief. I've seen people close to me suffering, being extorted because of religious belief. Do you know that tithes, the 10% of your earnings, the 10% of your products, do you know that in the Old Testament, it was for the Levites because they didn't have any inheritance, no land, and they'd work in the church. No income. And not for only them, to help the widows, the orphans, the needy. That was the essence. That was the essence. And when Jesus Christ came in the New Testament, in 2 Corinthians, thereabout, it stated that you should give what you can, not reluctantly and not out of compulsion. But nowadays, because of many religious leaders' greed, they've interpreted it to people, they've changed that system of belief, they made it in such a way that they link it with prosperity, and you will be scared if you don't find a way to do it. Sincerely. Now, we all know, majority of us know that these tithes now are now going to the pastors, not to the needy, because you don't need an intermediary to give something to the needy. You don't need an intermediary. You know the needy. They are everywhere you are. There are needy people around you. If you want to. And you don't need to now make sure it is 10%. You can do more than 10%. You can do below 10%. You can do without giving anything. So many people are in bondage of tithes and in bondage of giving offering in churches, in mosque, out of compulsion. It is now a compulsive behavior that is putting many people in bondage, in stress. Money many people are supposed to use to enhance their business, to go forward, to transform their life, to spend on their kids, they carry it to church. It is now transactional. People are now doing it with the hope that if I'm able to give more, I will be able to get more from God. And it is not their fault, because the programming in their head from the church is like that. The pastor that they believe in, their set leader that they believe in, has made it clear to them that if the more you give, the more you get from God. They've seen how serious those pastors are praying for people that are giving more in the church. It is all mind manipulation. It is all mind conditioning. Please wake up and see it. Please. Many listening to me will be saying, me, I don't belong to a sect. I don't, but that is one of the profound characteristics of you belonging to a sect. Not knowing you are in a sect is one of the ways to know that you are in a sect. Go and ask people that are in popular sects. They will never agree they are in a sect. That is why immediately you stop, you reduce going to church. Immediately you stop it, you will begin to, the conditioning will begin to crack. You will begin to see differently. You will begin to see different. It is because it is mind conditioning. That is why in all sects, either religion, either system of government, either economic system, either diet, anything, repetition is a must. There must be repetition for you to be kept in line. In Islamic religion, you have to pray 5 times a day to keep you in line. In Christianity, aside from Sunday, Bible study, morning prayer, all these things. In government, national anthem, everywhere you go, you see symbol, flags of the government is to keep you in line. You see police here and there is to keep you in line. Because without that repetition, often you will begin to think differently. And when you start to think differently, you will begin to act differently. And that will be against the sect. You will be off the sect. Now, me and my wife, we are planning, we've been talking with other like minds to establish self-reliance community. We will plant our things, plant our crops, have our own power source, solar, home wind, have all these things our own to reduce our spending to the barest minimum, to reduce our reliance on money, on having to buy things to the lowest. And before you know it, we'll be able, as a community, we'll be able to sell our surplus. This community, with the way me and my wife and all the like minds that we've been talking together, is not going to be based on what you have, money, or if you don't have any money, you can still belong to this community we want to establish. In as much you have something you can offer, a service or anything, and it's so difficult for you to see someone that cannot offer anything. It's so difficult. And in the course of doing this, we want to ensure that we are not going against the community or against capitalism. We just want to divert a bit so that our kids will be able to be exposed to both self-reliance community and also capitalism. When they grow, they are free to choose which one they want to belong to. So, it is not about one is better, one is good, no. It is all about preference. What serves us? Me and my wife, we've looked at this system of capitalism, having to, by the time my wife will come back from work, the kids are asleep. By the time she will go to work, she will be awake, the kids have gone to school. Me taking care of the home, working in the garden, doing all this. By the time I will be able to sit down sometime, I'm telling you, it will have been very close to when my wife will be back from work. I will be so damn tired. I just realized since we've changed the role that, okay, you be working for someone, because I hate working for anybody. You be working for someone, let me be taking care of the home. Since I started that, wow, I respect you women. All the women out there that have been taking care of the home. There is no, I'm sorry, forgive us men. There is no way we can understand you people are doing every job. You are doing lots. There is no way we can know, because we just see that what is in cleaning, what is in taking care of the home. But I'm telling you, it is so difficult taking care of the home. Now, not to talk of husband and wife that are working. Aside from maybe the day they have off, and most of the time they don't even have off the same time. In 24 hours a day, some family are unable to interact more than 2 or 3 hours at most. Is that life? But some people like it like that. But it's not serving us. That is the reason why we are changing. Sincerely. And then we are ready to forego, to let go some of the benefits of capitalism. We are able to forego it. Some people cannot forego it. And it's not bad. It's like that. So, the end of this podcast today is that, please, look at anything you believe in, any system of belief you are in, and ask yourself, is this serving me? Is this serving me? If it is not serving you, if what's supposed to give you freedom is putting you in bondage, please re-evaluate it. Remove yourself. Find alternative. Test 1 or 2 alternatives and see if you can see the one that will serve you much better, that will not let you to always be scared. Thank you so much for listening, my people. Till next time we meet, stay happy.